right, so we're going to get started. It's a little after 7. But once again, good evening and welcome. My name is Richard Hayzler. I'm the proud principal of Pequannock Township High School. I see a lot of familiar faces out there and recognize a lot of names. I know it wasn't that long ago. I was your child's principal if you were from Pequannock Valley School, and I welcomed them in 6th grade to PV school, and now here they are as 8th graders finishing up their year and becoming high schoolers. And it's an exciting time for you as parents as you send off a child to high school, whether it's your first child, your second child, your third, your fourth. Sending off a child to high school is always an exciting and anxious time. And of course, during the situation that we have now, obviously it's a different time. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about what that experience is going to look like for you as we get started in the application process of the academy and what the academies are. And so we have some people here tonight that I'd like to introduce before we get started so that you'll hear from them throughout the night in the different aspects of their jobs. But I'd like to introduce, and you can unmute yourself and say hello as I introduce you, but I'd like to introduce Mark Frederick. He is our Supervisor of Student Services. So Mark, if you just want to say hello and introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, Mark Frederick, Supervisor of Student Services. We are all excited to have you here tonight and talk about our wonderful academies. And you really truly talk about how it could be a great avenue to your future. So, we'll all get into our, certain parts that we know more about and just really let you all know if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, especially for student services after the presentation.
Thank you, Mark. I'd like to introduce Michelle Bernardino. She's our Supervisor of Mathematics.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for your time. As Mr. Hayzler said, I am Michelle Bernardino. I am the District Supervisor for Mathematics and STEM. So I will be speaking to you in a little bit about our STEM Academy. And if you have any questions after the presentation, please feel free to reach out.
I'd like to introduce Kristen Mallett. Kristen Mallett is our Supervisor of Science and Allied Health.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Mallett. I'm the Science and Allied Health Supervisor, and you can always reach out to me as well after the meeting, and thank you for coming. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have whenever and anytime. All right, take care.
We have Dr. Elizabeth Sheridan, who is our supervisor of a lot of things at the high school, but for tonight is teaching and learning, and she also does social studies, business, and world language. So Dr. Sheridan.
Good evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us this evening about our wonderful Academy program. We're really excited that there's so much interest here. And if you have any questions regarding the Teaching and Learning Academy, I'm the person that you should contact. But it's wonderful seeing all of you.
And Carrie Thomas is our Supervisor of Language Arts and Aviation. So Carrie.
Thank you. I'm also the supervisor for English as a second language, and I serve as the district anti-bullying coordinator. So I'm really excited to see everyone here tonight in this Zoom. I thank you for taking time to join us today to learn more about our Academy programs. Our new Aviation Academy just launched this year, and so we're definitely excited to grow and develop that Academy, and I can't wait to discuss that with you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. And I'm happy to talk about aviation with you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. We also have a lot of staff here tonight. So I know Mrs. Crocker's on the Zoom here. So Ms. Crocker, you just want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Betsy Crocker and I'm the work-based learning coordinator at the high school. So in relation to the academies, when the students are juniors and seniors and they're going out to internships and job shadows, I'll be involved with helping to set that up and set up the scheduling and visiting the sites that the students will be at.
Thanks, Mrs. Crocker. We also have Ms. Marks here tonight. She's one of our teachers in Allied Health.
Hi, everybody. I'm Julia Marks. So I teach only the seniors for Allied Health. So if you have any questions about the day-to-day schedule of the classes or clinical rotations, capstone projects, etc., you can reach out to me or my other coworkers. Nice to meet you all.
We have Ms. Doherty, who also teaches Allied Health.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine Doherty. I teach the freshman courses in Allied Health. So if you have any questions about jumping right in as a freshman, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And we have Ms. Carreri, who teaches in our Allied Health program as well. You just have to unmute yourself, Ms. Carreri. It's okay.
Gee, it's not like I'm a first timer with virtual. Hi, everyone. I'm Bethany Carreri. So nice of you to join us for tonight. I teach the juniors medical terminology and dynamics of healthcare. And for the seniors, I teach anatomy and physiology too. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.
We also have some other teachers that'll be here throughout the night stopping in, but we also have a student who's with us tonight, and that's Allison Lewandowski. So Allison, you just want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name's Allison. I'm a senior in Allied Health, and I've had the pleasure of being a student to Miss Carreri and Miss Marks. And if you have a question and you're too nervous to ask the teachers or the administration, I'll be here to answer your questions as well.
In all honesty, I could probably let Allison do this presentation because she is fantastic, and you'll be hearing from her in a few minutes. But again, thank you very much. I think I got everybody on the call here that's as part of our staff. But again, thank you for being here tonight, and you'll see that we really are a team, and we work together really, really well to make sure that your students, or you as a student, are successful here at Pequannock Township High School. Because to make a decision to apply to an academy is a big one. You know, not everybody does this, and so it takes students who are determined, who are responsible, who are accountable, and who are really focused and want to concentrate on a field of study. And so you'll hear tonight what the 4 different academies can offer you or your child as part of our program. And you may say tonight that, hey, maybe I want to apply to more than one academy, or maybe the academies are not for me, but you're here to learn. And that's a great, great thing. And so don't hesitate to reach out at any time. We're going to offer opportunities throughout the evening for questions. So write questions down as you see things, or you can put them in the chat feature. And you'll notice that at the bottom of the screen, if you're a first-time Zoomer, there's a little chat button at the bottom of your screen. And you can type in the chat, and we will be happy to answer them for you. Mr. Frederick and our supervisors will be moderating the chat, and we can help answer questions for you. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen and start off with our academy presentation. So here we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see the screen here. Allison, can you just give me a thumbs up because I see you on my screen? Okay, you can see it? Okay. All right, so once again, welcome to our Academy Interest session here at Pequannock Township High School. We introduced ourselves, but I also have Ms. Milner, who's our assistant principal, and Mr. Silipina is our assistant principal in charge of athletics. We are the PTHS administrative staff, and we also have a couple people who you didn't meet tonight is Mr. Greg Jablonski, who's our supervisor of instructional technology, and Mr. Ron Lucas, who you probably see around our school if you're a member of the Pequannock community, as our director of security. And together we work as a united team, always looking for the best interests of our students. You're also going to find here at Pequannock Township High School that we do have a strong guidance staff. And Mr. Frederick's going to talk a little bit about our guidance department. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Frederick. I think. Mr. Frederick, are you there? I can't.
You have to unmute yourself. There you
Okay,
go.
I got it. As you can all see, we have 4 guidance counselors, Miss Andreessen, Miss Escudero, Mr. Klump, and Miss Marshall. Okay, Miss Crocker, as we mentioned before, she's also a part of our department as the work-based learning coordinator. You know, a big part of our guidance staff, and just so you know, it's, you know, if you get into academy, if you come right to the high school, you know, our focus is really thinking about what do you want to do after you graduate and that transitional goals. And I think a great way for any student to start is getting involved with an academy. And as we get through the presentation, you'll learn how a lot of those avenues, you know, they will lead to possible dual enrollment classes. But the main focus is that our guidance counselors will be with you along the entire path. Whether you are trying to pick which classes you're going to be taking throughout the years, there's always that really main focus on transition. So, you know, as Mr. Hayzler said, you know, we have a wonderful group of guidance counselors. They're always going to be meeting with students, talking to students, and, you know, they're wonderful resources in so many ways. So obviously, you know, if you come to Pequannock, you know, I can say firsthand, it'll be a great opportunity for you to work with some great staff, and especially with the guidance department. You know, they're looking out for your future, and I believe that's what's most important.
Thanks, Mr. Frederick. And you'll see there next to Ms. Andreessen and Mr. Klump, you see the abbreviation for SAC. That's a student assistance counselor. So obviously social emotional learning right now, especially in our pandemic, is critical for you as students and for you as parents. They provide additional support for us and run various programs. So they're working with students in small groups on various topics right now, not just academic oriented, but dealing with social and emotional learning too, which is a critical piece. So thank you, Mr. Frederick, for that update. When you think about our academies, we offer 4 different academies. We have our Allied Health Medical Academy, we have our STEM Academy, we have our Teaching and Learning Academy, and new this year is our Aviation Academy. So this is our first year that we're up and running, and it's really been a great experience for us, and you'll hear a little bit about that shortly. You will be full-time students of Pequannock Township High School if you enroll in our academies. So whether you're from Bloomingdale, Lincoln Park, Holy Spirit, or whatever school you may come from, you will be full-time students of Pequannock Township High School, and therefore you'll be eligible to participate in all of our activities, our sports, extracurricular clubs, and you become part of the Golden Panther family. We do offer in each one of these programs challenging real-world applications where you're going to experience critical thinking and collaboration in a variety of different settings. You know, right now I know we sit in classrooms very often in masks and 6 feet apart, but there's still a lot of unique opportunities that we're providing our students. And our teachers will talk a little bit about that, and our supervisors tonight about what we're doing in our classes, whether it's pre-pandemic or currently in our pandemic, that promote really positive learning experience for our students. And because we do have highly motivated, experienced teachers, and Allison will talk about her experience with working with her teachers, but you'll see the dedication from them tonight, just being here in these calls. And they are truly passionate about what they do. You know, when I walk into their classrooms and see them with their students, it's not just about the content, it's about the building of the relationship with that student and that group of students. And the commitment that they have. It really is just truly awesome. And so as you meet these teachers tonight and meet them over the course of your experience, you're going to find out that they are always keeping your best interest in mind. Also, with each academy, we have a specific course sequence that students will take throughout their 4 years. So I'll go over that sequence with you. The supervisors will also talk a little bit about what the schedules look like, because you do have opportunities outside of the course sequences. So there's still opportunities for advanced placement courses. There's still opportunities to pursue world languages and things like that. So we understand that although this is a concentrated program, we still want students to experience a well-rounded education. And that means that we do evolve as programs. We look at and talk to the students and see what courses work best. We talk with the teachers and see what works. And so you'll see that there's going to be kind of caveats when we explain the schedules that, you know, courses may change because we really look at what's in the best interest of the students. But we also are partnering with colleges. So you heard Mr. Frederick talk about dual enrollment. What that means is students are receiving credit from Pequannock Township High School, but they're also receiving credit from colleges. So we partner with our Allied Health with Rutgers University. With STEM, we partner with Seton Hall, and we're also going to be looking to partner with NJIT. And then our Teaching and Learning Academy partners with William Patterson University. So our Aviation Academy is not yet affiliated with a college because it's such a new program, but we are looking at different ways that we can integrate that in. And as we build that program out, we're hoping to partner with someone in the future. But that dual enrollment piece for parents is really big because that can save you some serious money when your kids do apply to college. And for students, what that means is that that's not necessarily where you have to go to college, but these courses are aligned with classes that are taught at Rutgers University or at Seton Hall University. And you may be able to go to another college and take those credits with you. And that's a really, really important thing. I know you're probably saying, if you're a student, Mr. Hayzler, I just want to get to high school, never mind college. And that's totally understandable. But for your parents, this is really a big feature of our program, is that you can enroll and get dual enrollment credit for colleges, and the supervisors will talk a little bit more about that as they get into their program. So I mentioned that you'll be full-time students here at Pequannock Township High School, so that means that there are graduation requirements that you're going to need to meet. Okay, so in middle school, obviously you have certain classes that you have to take. Same thing as in high school. In English, you have to take 4 years of English. So if you look at it, you'll get 20 credits because each class is worth 5 credits. And you'll see in the parentheses, these are all the minimum requirements. Okay, so mathematics is a 3-year requirement. Science with a lab is 3 years. So that means that'll either be biology, chemistry, physics, or environmental science. World history is 1 year. U.S. history is 2 years. And then you'll see as you go down the list. So really, the physical education and health is a 4-year requirement, and English. Those are your only 2 courses that are 4-year requirements. And then you can pick and choose with your counselors, as Mr. Frederick said. Your counselors will go over with you to make sure that you meet all of these requirements throughout your academy. Now, what's great for you is your academies count towards those 21st century career classes, because you're looking at specific careers. So you'll actually pick up those 5 credits real quickly in your academy classes. And then the visual and performing arts, that is something where if you're interested in music, band or choir, or you can take any of our art classes that we offer here at the high school. So those are your graduation requirements. What's not included in this list are other electives that you would take as part of your program, or as part of just extra electives that you may want to take depending on the academy that you're in. So let's talk a little bit about our Allied Health Academy. So I'm going to have Kristen Mallett talk. She's, again, our supervisor of Allied Health, but she's going to introduce the academy. You'll see here, these are some of our students. They are dressed in scrubs, and Allison will probably talk about that a little bit when she gets started. But they're provided with scrubs, and when you go to the hospital or your place of where you're doing your internship, you look and dress the part. And so these are our students in our lab getting ready to head over to the hospital. This was obviously taken last year with masks off, but they have a great time. And it's always exciting to watch them leave with smiles on their faces, knowing they're going to get to go and see cool things happen. And so you'll hear from Allison about some of the things that she's experienced. But I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Mallett at this time.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Kristen Nutt. I'm the supervisor for the Allied Health Academy, and yes, so you are provided with scrub shirt and scrub pants that we give you when you enter our program, when you enter the clinical rotations junior year. So how it works is it's a 4-year academy program. So we have it's a joint learning experience with Chilton Medical Center. So and Rutgers University, you get the credits. So junior year, you start your rotations with Chilton, and freshman and sophomore year, you take courses that lead you into your Rutgers dual enrollment courses and your junior clinical rotations at Chilton. So the next part, we offer also our unique learning experiences where we have you in Chilton shadowing staff in all different departments junior year. So you go to all the different departments, and then senior year, it would be 2 or 3 mornings or afternoons per week. And you have like your choice, like you get a choice that you send to me, beginning of senior year. And you get to pick where you want to be based on your interests. We also have other experiences, like we had students go in the helicopter. You could see the picture there and experience that. And then also, the students in the picture on top, they were doing like CPR training, which you do that in class with the teachers. And and then also there's a picture there of the students in the scrubs, and those students actually were going into the OR. So when you go in the OR, you change your scrubs to other scrubs, and they tell you the protocol for that. So here's where the shadowing, the clinical internships junior year, like I said, you go to all different departments. So you will experience every department there. So here's a list of just some of the departments. I mean, there were some others as well. So we have lab, operating room, emergency, pharmacy, radiology, OB, physical therapy, occupational therapy, ICU, social work, nutrition, orthopedics, cardiac, and patient experience and wound. So these are just some of the departments that you'd shadow junior year. And then senior year, we offer you, you get to pick 4 choices, and then we could decide you'll be in 2 placements that whole year, one for the first half of the year and one for the second half of the year. So it's definitely, the students love going to all the different departments and experiencing all the different experiences they have in each department. So your course sequence, so 9th grade, you would take your biology honors or academic bio and the bioethics course that Miss Doherty teaches. And then in 10th grade, you would be taking your allied health courses, are the genetics and fundamentals of health and wellness. And then your chemistry and academic chemistry are just other ones that you would also have that year. And besides your other requirements. And then 11th grade is when you get into the courses that you would get credits for Rutgers, which would be your medical terminology, A&P1, dynamics of healthcare, emergency and clinical care. And obviously your shadowing experience starts that year. And then in senior year, you have your clinical course and your anatomy and physiology too. And then there's also a capstone project that you work on that year. And then your also your science lab course, in addition to the other courses to fill the requirements. And lastly, you have your residency experience, which is where you would be in 2 departments for the whole year. So it's a lot, very full schedule, and all the classes everyone's very excited to take, and our teachers are wonderful. We have them here tonight, and I think we can have them chime in a little bit
Yeah, so
soon.
Ms. Doherty, actually, if you wouldn't mind just talking a little bit about your bioethics course, like what are some of the things that you do in that class?
Sure. So bioethics is the first allied health course that you would take, and it's a really, really fun course. It's very discussion based. It's debate driven. So we talk about different ethical issues that can arise, particularly in the medical field. So you have things like defining death, like brain death, immunizations, vaccinations, what are the protocols? We get into kind of different controversial topics regarding how doctors should handle different patient situations, so the Hippocratic Oath. And then all of these different things, we're looking at documentaries, we're doing case studies, so we're looking at real world examples where there are things where these actually happen, and how did they handle it? How did the doctors handle it? How did the parents handle the situation? How did the patient handle the situation? And we kind of debate, do we think that's right? Do we think that's wrong? There's not necessarily a right or a wrong answer, so it really gives you a chance to share what you think and why different people are reacting different ways. It shows you how to think critically and use different perspectives to kind of drive your opinion.
Thanks, Ms. Doherty. I always enjoy walking by her class. They're always engaged in some kind of conversation. And, you know, it's something that it's amazing to listen. And it really, you have to stay updated into what's going on, you know, and they're doing a lot of reading, a lot of discussion, a lot of looking at the videos as she talked about. And the kids are really into it. So it's a great way to start off our Allied Health Academy. And then Ms. Carreri and Ms. Marks, if you wouldn't mind talking about some of the classes that you teach, maybe just highlight 1 or 2.
I can go first.
Yeah, Ms. Carreri.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Carreri. First, I just want to say that the camaraderie between the kids in this academy is just second to none. Within, you know, the first week they come in, they're kind of quiet, they're not really talking to each other, but within a few weeks they have everyone's phone number in their phones. They're invited to Sweet 16s, they're at different events in different towns. Even just this year, the first week of school, I told the kids, I said, you know, we should really get on a group text chat with your classmates just in case if you're missing an assignment or you have a question. They're like, oh, Mrs. Query, we already did that the second day of school. I'm like, oh, okay. So they already had 25 phone numbers of all of their classmates, and everyone just gets along really well. It's a very tight-knit community. It's full of so much support. The allied health teachers meet every single day. We talk about the best way to execute a lesson. We may discuss a child that's falling behind. So there are so many opportunities for one-on-one instruction for your child. So, you know, there's just so much support. With my courses, I teach dynamics of health. We talk about different professions in the medical field. Anatomy and physiology, we obviously talk about the anatomy of the human body and also about different pathology. And with medical terminology, they learn about 10,000 words for med terms for the entire year. So not only will they be able to understand an entire episode of Grey's Anatomy, they can fully immerse themselves in hospital culture once they get back to Chilton, and they really love that.
Thanks, Ms. Carreri. Ms. Marks, you want to talk a little bit about genetics?
Oh, I don't teach genetics. Miss Dougherty teaches
Oh, Ms.
genetics.
Doherty? Okay. Either one. Ms. Marks, you can talk about your classes too.
Okay. So I teach only seniors. So the students will get me their senior year. I teach both introduction to clinical research, anatomy and physiology too, and I complete their capstone project with them. So just to go off of what Bethany Carreri was saying, by the time I get the seniors, they already know each other. They're already talking. So it's such a lovely group within Allied Health because they know each other. And whenever we do partner work or peer review or anything like that, the students work really well together. And it's just a really great connected community within allied health. So specifically for clinical research, I talk about all different clinical trials, the phases, how to get involved in one, what the landscape looks like, the ethics behind clinical research and clinical trials, things like that. And then the second half of Introduction to Clinical Research, from about January to June, the seniors start to work on a capstone project. So third and fourth marking period, they start the capstone project, which is just they individually do research within a field of allied health. And then for the first half, so from September to December in clinical research, I have them work on a grant proposal project. So this kind of warms them up for the capstone project, and they can actually choose their grant proposal project for their capstone project as well. And then for anatomy and physiology too, we just get into a lot more detail about the body systems and pathology. And the students love it because they always want to know like the why behind the anatomy. So this is a great course because they really go into detail about everything.
So here's a cool little fact that you probably don't know, but Miss Marks and Miss Doherty, this is actually their first year in the academy. And when you hear them talk about it, it's like they've been teaching in the academy for years. What's also awesome is that they were both student teachers with us here at the high school last year. And so they kind of understood what the climate and culture of the building was like. They worked with our science teachers, and they have really just done an outstanding job. I can't tell you how proud I am of all of our teachers, but to see Julia and Catherine just jump right in, and Miss Carreri and Miss Valverde, they really are truly a great team. And so I want to thank them for being here tonight and sharing their experience. Julia, Miss Marks talked about our seniors, and Allison Lewandowski is on. So I'd like Allison just to talk a little bit about her experience here in the academy. And so I'm gonna pop up the schedule here so she can kind of reflect over her years here, what classes she took. But this would be Allison. So why don't you share your experience in the academy?
Hello, everybody. So unfortunately, I will not be able to see any of you because I'm a senior this year. But I started junior year. I had Miss Valverde. I don't think that she's here in the meeting right now, but I had her for Anatomy and Physiology 1 and Emergency Clinical Care. And I had Miss Carreri for Dynamics of Healthcare and Medical Terminology. And when she says 10,000 words, she means 10,000 words. It is a lot, but you will get through it, I promise, if you are interested in allied health. I have Miss Marks now for Anatomy and Physiology 2 and for Clinical Research. I would like to say that the classes are definitely not the easiest classes that you were going to take. And I'm not trying to scare anybody but I don't want you guys going in there thinking that you're going to breeze through them really easily. The teachers are truly amazing, and they will help you through anything if you need help. And Miss Carreri also said, and Miss Marks as well, that the students in the classes are very well tight-knit.
Oh, did we lose her?
Oh,
Oh, I think we lost her.
yeah, I don't see her.
She'll be back. Must have had technical difficulties. So when Allison comes back, what I'll do is I'll talk about the schedule while there she is. She popped up again. Let's see. Are you there, Allison?
I'm sorry, somebody
okay.
called. Okay, so when it comes to the kids and everybody like getting along really well, I would like to definitely say that I have found my best friends in this class. I've told this last year too when I was a junior. There is a girl that I still talk to all the time. She wrote her college essay about me. And just we talk so much, and she helped me through so many things, and I help her through everything. So I will definitely say that we are very tight-knit, and we do also have group chats together. When it comes to the actual clinical rotations, when you get to junior year, I know that you guys are only in 8th grade, but junior year does come by very, very quickly. I loved going into Chilton. It was so fun. It unfortunately got cut short because of COVID, but it was a lot of fun. The nurses are absolutely amazing, and they truly are excited to meet you guys when you do go in. You know, you go in, you introduce yourself, and you tell them pretty much like why you're there, and they will walk you through everything. And as a senior, I've only gotten to go a few times, but when I tell you that I'm able to hold a conversation with the nurses and the doctors about literally anything, the patients, they are really, really shocked, and they actually love having conversations with us. I've had plenty of wonderful experiences with patients. I got to see like a once in a lifetime experience the last time that I went. A man pretty much was in the hospital for like 200 days straight, wasn't able to leave the hospital, and he went out and finally met his family after that long experience, and his family all came with little signs, and it was really cute. And it honestly, it made me cry, and I'm not an emotional person, so it was very nice to experience all of that. But if you ever have any questions, even though I'm not going to be there, even now, you can talk to me later on. I will be back in the meeting later because I have a couple of things to do for Allied Health. But it truly is an amazing, amazing experience. And I haven't been able to do the freshman and sophomore part of it, but the junior and senior part is really amazing. And you will meet great people and great teachers, as well as the administration, because they have tried their best during this terrible time.
Thank you, Allison. You know, we were talking before the parents signed in, and Allison said, she's like, I wish this program was here when I was a freshman. Allison joined the cohort that is actually aligned with Morris County VOTEC. So our allied health program at the high school begins in 9th grade. We also have a shared time program with Morris County VOTEC. So you may say to yourself, well, I don't know if I necessarily want to start this in 9th grade. You could start it in 11th grade, but you would actually apply to Morris County VOTEC to be part of that program. And that's what Allison did. Allison applied to Morris County VOTEC, went through that interview process, and joined the program. And I know I've heard Allison say this, but she's wanted to do this her whole life. This was something that she was really interested in. So if you have questions for Allison, which I hope you do, she'll be back in a little bit. So go get on that homework, Allison, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right. So you'll see in front of us, this is our sample schedule. Doesn't mean that this is what your schedule will look like, but it's a sample. I'm just going to focus on 9th grade right now. But you'll see that you have biology, and you'll see the HN means honors. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have honors, but it's the honors track. You have phys ed, you have English 1, geometry or algebra. And then you'll see you have financial literacy, which will be one of your graduation requirements, and bioethics. And then you have world history, world language, and you can take a visual performing arts graduation requirement. And then you'll see throughout the course of your 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you can begin to take those classes that fall within the program. So again, you don't have to take a snapshot of this. I'm going to send you this presentation at the end. I'll email it to you just like I did with the link, but you'll have this there, and it's mapped out for you for these 4 years. And so, you know, again, all these courses that you'll see that are in bold are aligned with Rutgers University. So now I'd like to introduce Miss Michelle Bernardino. She's going to talk a little bit about our STEM Academy.
Hello, good evening again, everyone. So our STEM Academy obviously focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math. So we do have courses that run from fundamentals of engineering to robotics to computer science and game design. It is a 4-year academy program. Senior year, we also have a capstone program. So 2 periods of the day are dedicated to that capstone, where the students will come up with an idea and create a project, and they have a presentation at the end of the year with their full project, what they created and what purpose it serves. We do have credit courses through Seton Hall. So we have 31 credits currently being offered. As Mr. Hayzler had said, we are working right now with NJIT to try to offer some courses through NJIT as well. We have had a number of our STEM Academy graduates go to New Jersey Institute of Technology, and we thought that would be a great partnership for us. So we are forging forward with that as well. So the coursework for STEM, as you saw also, you know, everything is subject to change. We are doing a little bit of work around the courses, but currently our freshmen take fundamentals of engineering and robotics, which we call Modern Computing 1, and that is the robotics course as sophomores. As juniors, they take our AutoCAD and 3D prototype with Inventor and Intro to Computer Science. And Modern Computing Applications 2 is our game design course. So currently, these are our junior senior courses. We are working on what years, some of the courses right now we have juniors and seniors taking, and we may wind up alternating some of the courses to have the opportunity to take it either as a junior or senior. So those are some of the things that we are working out now. So if you see here, your freshman year, you will take STEM biology. STEM biology is one of the courses that gets Seton Hall credits. I will tell you this, it is an honors level course. Because you are receiving college credits, it is that honors level. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you are interested in the STEM Academy. It is a challenging course, different than our regular biology courses because there is a STEM component to it. And they do follow some of those engineering process ideas in the biology course with the fundamentals of engineering. Sophomore year, you will have STEM chemistry along those same lines. It is a Seton Hall credit course that is an honors level course with our robotics or modern computing applications class. As juniors, you will take STEM physics, which is again the honors level. We have had some students who prefer to take AP physics, and that's fine. We kind of give you that option there. You do have the AutoCAD and prototype with Inventor. Our game design course, which can be either a junior or senior course at the moment, which is the Computing Applications 2 and Intro to Computer Science. And we are introducing Intro to Computer Science 2 will be offered next year for the first time. We're doing a little bit of shifting there because as you saw when Mr. Hayzler presented your graduation requirements, you are only required of 2 years of a world language to graduate. But most colleges do recommend that you have 3 years. So we want to give you that flexibility in your junior year to be able to take a third year of a language. So we're kind of trying to make some room for that and switch some of the courses around. And then as you'll see, senior year, you have that capstone and internship. So we do have a list, and I believe it will be coming up in a moment, of just some local businesses that we have worked with in the area where the students have gone out on internships during that capstone period. So this year, you know, things are a little bit different. We are still working with some of these local businesses and some new businesses as well to do internships, and some of them will be virtual and some of them are allowing our students to go out into the field. One of our new internship businesses is actually NJIT. So we will have one of our senior students doing some work with NJIT this year. And the other thing that, you know, has kind of come up through this pandemic experience is our STEM courses tend to be very hands-on, as you can imagine, and a lot of the computer programming that doesn't always work so great through a Chromebook. So we have purchased laptops for all of our STEM Academy students, so they will be able to access their game design, their robotics, their AutoCAD, and all of those programs that they need for the STEM Academy. These are some slides, I think, from some projects that have been done in the past through the capstone. So you'll see, you know, the students will go through the engineering process and thinking about, you know, what problem do I want to solve and what am I going to create and how is this going to work? And then they do a capstone presentation, usually in late May, about their projects. And these are just some of the slides from some of the projects that have been done in the past. I think that's a wrap.
Thank you, Ms. Bernardino. I do want to just go back to the one slide, which is pretty awesome. That lady there, that's Mr. Locatell. First of all, he's one of our teachers in the STEM Academy. But that lady there looking at him is Dr. McMillan. She was just approved to be the new Commissioner of Education. She visited our school last year before the pandemic, and she toured our facility. She looked at our STEM program, our allied health program, and our teaching and learning program, and she was just overwhelmed with what we were doing. You could see her cell phone in her hand. She had taken a picture. This was Mr. Locatell showing off one of the projects that his students are working on. Mr. Locatell couldn't be here this evening, but you know, he, again, just a very dynamic teacher. And we have several teachers, Mr. Murick, Mr. Coe, and then our science teachers in the STEM Academy, which we'll show you in a few minutes. But it was a really cool experience. And so to have our Commissioner of Education here was pretty awesome. We didn't know it at the time, but it's pretty awesome that she likes Pequannock Township High School, that's for sure.
Mr. Hayzler, I just wanted to hop in really quick too, just to say all of the teachers in the STEM Academy, those that teach the STEM focused courses and those that teach the science courses, are all really so involved in the program, and they've been, so wonderful with the students and with myself in talking about some of the changes or things we'd like to do to the program, and they really take ownership over it. I also wanted to mention Mr. Locatell, who teaches our AutoCAD class and our inventor type, had made a lot of the face masks during the pandemic when this first began and donated a lot of them to Chilton, and you can really see the real life experience happening right there in the STEM classrooms.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Bernardino. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Sheridan. She's going to share a little bit about our Teaching and Learning Academy. So Dr. Sheridan, the floor is yours. Is Dr. Sheridan there?
Yeah, there I am.
Oh, there she
Okay.
is.
Yeah, you would think I'm not a rookie with this either. But thank you so much. The Teaching and Learning Academy is fairly new to Pequannock Township. That we are currently in our second year. Our second cohort is moving through this program. We are partnered with William Patterson. So we offer enough courses to earn potentially 21 credits from William Patterson upon successful completion of those courses and graduation. Along those same lines, we also offer the opportunity for students to really get out and get into the classroom and see what teaching is like from the other side of the desk, one that they're not used to sitting on. So this would be really just a tremendous opportunity for students if they are interested in the field of education. I won't go into it now, but on our website that we'll talk about a little bit later, even if you decide not to pursue teaching per se, there are a whole host of other fields and occupations that are related to education where you could find use for these 21 credits. So our students will have a tremendous opportunity to participate in a lot of the foundational coursework that is really offered and mirrors that which is offered at William Patterson, beginning with courses like that provide a understanding of the American public education system with the history of modern education and how education is handled in overseas and international countries with the globalization. And then it really begins to focus a little bit more into some of the very specific aspects that we see here in the United States, where we looking at students with a whole range of abilities, child development, and then multicultural bilingual education, just to mention just a couple of them. So these courses are designed and they're put into a sequence to provide you with a foundation, and then really culminating in your senior year with some courses that are going to be very much geared toward helping you earn a teaching certificate if you choose to continue pursuing education in college. So sort of along the same lines as the STEM Academy, we've kind of moved classes around a little bit. So your schedule, when you come into Pequannock Township High School, we wanted to give you additional opportunities to take some electives, and especially in a world language. I can say I became a teacher as a second career. I did not initially start out to be a teacher, but I can tell you that, excuse me, it is one of the most rewarding professions that I think anybody can do. It's absolutely tremendous to see the light bulb go off in kids' minds, excuse me, as you're talking and you're teaching and you're seeing them grow and develop. And that's really what this 4-year academy is designed to do. So, excuse me. So as you can see that the students will be taking classes that are highlighted in red are those that are partnered with William Patterson, culminating in grade 12, where they'll have quite a few courses, excuse me, in that capstone project.
Dr. Sheridan's been teaching today, so she's teaching 6th grade social studies, so she talks a lot during the day.
Yeah.
So I'll take you. I mean, I got you, doctor. So what we have is in that first year, in that history of modern education, they'll take the financial literacy, which is the graduation requirement. But then they move forward from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And you'll see that 12th grade is a little bit heavier. But in that junior year, they'll have a clinical classroom experience. Maybe they want to be an elementary teacher. Maybe they want to work in a middle school or a high school, or maybe they want to work in child study team, or they want to be a guidance counselor. Whatever aspect of education they want to be, we will partner them and have a clinical classroom experience, and then they'll have a capstone project in grade 12. And what's cool about it is that those are those field experiences where they'll write lesson plans, they'll do some assessment design, they'll participate in professional development workshops with their teachers, which is actually a pretty awesome experience. And so, for those of you that are teachers out there, and I know there are some on this chat, in this Zoom meeting, it is such a rewarding profession. To watch kids grow and develop and want to be in this profession is fantastic. And so, again, we have some great teachers that are teaching in this program right now, and we're building it out as we go, because again, teaching is evolving, right? You look at what we're doing right now and how we've had to change what education looks like. And our kids are going to be at the forefront of that. And that's truly remarkable when you think about it. So that's our Teaching and Learning Academy. And then lastly is our Aviation Academy. And then we'll talk a little bit about how to apply if you're interested. So I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Carrie Thomas, who's going to talk about our Aviation Academy.
Hi, thank you. So I think one of the really exciting things about the Aviation Academy is that, there is a worldwide shortage coming up for pilots and all aspects basically in the aircraft industry. So it's a tremendous opportunity for a real career path. And in our Aviation Academy, it is a 4-year program, and we are working with a curriculum developed by the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, AOPA, and that curriculum has been established to really help to foster a direct high school, college to pilot program. This program is a very hands-on, problem-based activities course. It's aligned to our next gen science standards. And so students have a great opportunity to explore aviation from the point of view of being a pilot, from the point of view of being a pilot for unmanned aircraft or drones, and they'll have opportunities for field experiences at Lincoln Park Airport. The way our course works, we have a science teacher right now in our 9th grade program who is teaching, the physics aspect of flight, but we also have partnered with a real live pilot who also happens to be a teacher, and he's sort of our pilot consultant who really helps our students see firsthand what this career path is like. And as we go on, because he is a real practicing pilot, he also is going to be offering us opportunities to see firsthand what it's like to be in, the pilot's seat, what it's like to, virtually right now because of COVID and everything, but what it's like to have different roles within an airport and within aircraft, the aircraft industry in general. So our 9th grade sequence, we have 2 semester-long courses, and those are really designed to get our students sort of introduced to the concept of aviation and flight. In the course that they're working in right now, Launching into Aviation, as we are also launching into aviation for the first time, is really designed to look at the history of flight and the mechanics of flight, and give students an opportunity to start to learn the basic physics, how physics works in motion. So it's not, it is science-based, but it's science applied in a real world way so that students can understand exactly how flight works. And then we move into exploring aviation and aerospace, where they'll learn more about safety. They're going to look at building their own virtual rockets and testing those in order to get to the right, applying those concepts that they've learned about flight to create aircraft and look at the designing and engineering aspect of it. And then into our 10th grade year, they're going to dig deeper into what it means to be a pilot and fly a plane, looking at plane safety and some of those types of things. And then they're going to learn about aircraft systems, those unmanned systems or drones, and how that operates, how you perform with drones. And so after 10th grade, they will pick kind of a specialty, and they're going to take a strand. So either they're going to go the way of the pilot, the private pilot, or the unmanned aircraft systems, and they're going to get really specific in terms of learning all of the in-cabin things to do as a pilot, sort of the on-the-ground work that they can do, and either for flying planes or for flying drones. And then they'll dig deeper with that as they go on into 12th grade. And both of those strands really will prepare students to take the course, the phrase is escaping me right now, to take the federal aviation, yes, the private pilot knowledge test, sorry. So that they'll be prepared to take the test either for a pilot or for a drone. And then if we want to just jump back real quick to that, yeah. So you can see a sample schedule for students. The first year, they'll be taking a lot of their required classes and their fundamental classes, like I said, and then they have one section full year, but two different topics where they're exploring aviation for 9th grade as well as 10th grade. And then 11th and 12th is where they're going to dig deeper into the aspect of flying that they're most interested in, and be able to start to apply all of their knowledge to operating planes and or drones. And we are looking for opportunities right now to also offer a partnership, so that if a student wanted to complete in-flight lessons, while we wouldn't sponsor it, we would have a partnership whereby they could also accomplish that in their during their time at the high school. So we will have field experiences that include job shadowing, as well as, like I said, taking that pilot test, the paper, basically the paper version of the test, so that they can complete that aspect towards a pilot license.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. It's pretty cool that you can fly a plane before you graduate high school. That's pretty amazing.
Cool.
You know, and so moving forward, all these partnerships, you'll notice that senior year, there's some elective choices there. If and when we find a partnership, you would either take electives through the high school, or maybe courses that are added into the program. So again, as this program grows and evolves, we're going to evolve with it, which is really neat. So I know there's a lot of questions out there. So where do I find our Academy application? Well, we're going to go through that with you in a second. Dr. Sheridan's going to work through that process. But there is an application process, and the applications are going to be due January 15th. Okay, so you have some time. Can students apply to more than one academy? Yes, you certainly can. When we look at the application process, Dr. Sheridan will go through it with you. I know we didn't have the NJSLA last year, so test scores are not going to be a huge part of the application process, but we will look at possibly your 6th grade score, right? Just to see how you were doing on your standardized tests, just to see where that would play out as we go through high school. Where can I learn more about PTHS? Well, we have if you attended our 4 Years and Beyond program, I attached a link there to it, but our 4 Years and Beyond website will give you everything you need to know about Pequannock Township High School, from athletics or to our counseling department. You can meet our teachers. You can watch videos of our extracurricular activities. There's so much on there for you. And I'll show you that website in a few minutes. As part of the application process, we do have interviews. And so a lot of people are worried about, well, what is an interview? Well, an interview will happen via Zoom this year. It'll be very much like this, where you'll log in, you'll see maybe Dr. Sheridan or Ms. Thomas or Ms. Mallett. They'll be interviewing you with one of the teachers, and they just want to get to know you, why you're applying for this academy, tell them a little bit about yourself and maybe some of your future goals. When we talk about how many people are accepted, it really depends on the academy, but it can be anywhere from 20 to 40 students, sometimes 50. We've gone as high as 50. It really depends on how many apply over the course of a year. Excuse me. And then, can I participate in sports and activities? Absolutely. You are a full-time member of Pequannock Township High School. So I'm going to go back to the application website in a second. Actually, why don't we do that right now? Dr. Sheridan, I'm going to open this up. And why don't we walk me through the application process here? Actually, let's see.
So-
Go ahead.
Okay, so this page was constructed by the supervisors, and it highlights each of the academies. We're not going to take you through each of them. This is where you can find some specific information about them, again, about the courses that the students will take. And it'll also give you an opportunity to see pictures of the teachers and the staff for each of the academies. So what you're most interested right now is over on the left side where you see the navigation bar. You'll see to apply. So once you click on to apply, this will talk to you a little bit about will outline the application requirements. And we're doing this year through Google Forms. That way it'll save on, filling out paper, having to deal with social distancing and all sorts of CDC guidelines and health department guidelines. So what is required for every application is to complete this Google form here that says PTHS Academy application. Just as Mr. Hayzler said, by January 15th is the due date for it. You don't need a Google account to do this, although it is a little bit easier for some of the other things to submit. But what you'll do is you will check all of the academies. You will fill in any of the information, just as Mr. Hayzler is doing here. You'll fill in your child's information, your information, and some of these fields are required that we want to capture this data so we can communicate with you throughout this process. So please make sure that you're double checking email addresses as you're filling them in, phone numbers, home mailing addresses, and of course the spelling of your son and daughter's name. Okay. Some people don't have a home phone, so I didn't make that a requirement, but and so you can then click next. So when you come here, the next part of the application is a written statement to be submitted and done by the student. And we're looking for it's not a lengthy response, a couple paragraphs that would talk about their reasoning behind wanting to join a particular academy. If they want to talk more, if they're applying to multiple ones, they might want to do multiple submissions, but that's a question you can just email one of the academy coordinators. If you don't have access to upload it, if you have a Gmail account, you'd be able to upload the document to this form. Otherwise, what you could do is just email it to Diane Hummel at pequannock.org, a hard copy, and then we'll be in touch there. All right. So everything will be compiled together. So it's important to include the name of your child. I'd also include the academies somewhere up at the top. Okay, so then the other things that we're looking to get is the grade 8 report card, or either it's a trimester or marking periods, however the district does it, NJSLA score report, or other standardized test results. So here, things, again, if you have a Gmail account, can be added and uploaded. If you don't have those, again, please email Diane Hummel. Again, you can send it all in one email, but keep your child's name on top. The last part are teacher recommendations. And so your student will share this link with the teacher whom they're requesting do this recommendation. And the teacher will access that link. It's a Google form, and they will fill out their recommendation, and then they'll submit it, and we'll have that from the teachers. So we're streamlining this a little bit this year. And then at the end of the application, it's a little bit of a checklist for you to make sure that you have everything. Once you've checked all that stuff off, you'll be good to go and good to submit to Pequannock Township. And then we will be in touch to schedule an interview. So we're hoping that this is a little bit easier. It is certainly a little bit more streamlined, but again, it takes away the necessity of having to mail anything or drop anything off. Okay, so that's our website. Feel free to, again, look around on the website. And this is also the teacher recommendation form here that you can just access the recommendation here if you wanted to. But, you know, feel free. Mr. Hayzler also included a little bit of a tour of Pequannock Township High School. We hope to hear from you. We hope that you apply to one or more of our academies, and really looking forward to a in-person experience in September of 2021.
So Dr. Sheridan, there's a question in the chat. Can you save this application and come back to it, or do you need to submit it once you started?
I don't think that you need to, that is a good question. I think the only real part I think that would be problematic would be the student's response. And if that's, you know, their written statement as to why they want to join. So my recommendation would be to have them write that out, type it up on a separate document, and then just copy and paste it in, or to just upload it to, or email it directly to Diane Hummel. But I mean, Mr. Hayzler just walked you through the whole process. It's basic, you know, demographic information, your name, your address, phone number, and really that's it. So I'm going to say no, that Google form will not save the fields filled in, but that's something that we can certainly look at for next year.
Yeah, my recommendation for you would be, if you're filling out, as Dr. Sheridan said, I would look through the application first, go through it. It doesn't matter if you submit it more than once. Okay, we'll see your full application. So don't worry. Like if you want to get the essay done and not have to worry about everything else, just go through the essay, and then when you get to that last question, you only submitted the essay. So when we see that, we'll be able to tell, okay, that Rich Hayzler only submitted the essay, and then maybe later on you'll submit the rest of it. And so we'll be able to see it in case you want to work on different parts. There was a question about interviews. Is the interview just for the student? Yes, the interview is only for the student. You know, that they'll come and meet with us on Zoom. We'll obviously let the parent know when the interview is, but the interview is for the student. It gives them an opportunity to really go through the process of being in an interview. You know, and it's neat to see the kids get dressed up, have a conversation. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. We don't, you know, it's not like a job interview. We just like to talk and meet the student and find out what they're really passionate about. Yeah, so those are some of the questions there. If you look in the chat, there was some questions about fees for college credits. You know, there are some fees for the college process, but they are much cheaper than actually going to college. So we'll, as you get into the academies, we'll talk to you about those college credits and what they're worth. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to, you'll see here also, again, if you go to each one of the academies, you click on here, you can see the coursework that we explained in the presentation, and also you get to meet the aviation staff. So you'll see this is Josh Weinstein here. He's our pilot consultant, and that's Mr. Khalil. He's our aviation teacher, and they really do an amazing job. You'll see the staff of our STEM Academy. There's Mr. Locatell, Mr. Murick, Mr. Murphy, Mr. Coe, and then our STEM chemistry and biology teachers. And so again, you can click on and see all the coursework there. So there's really a lot to offer in each one of these programs. Again, what I say all the time is you get out what you put in. And so I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now so that we can talk and you know, see each other. But you get out what you put into it. And so this academy is set up for students who are going to give it their all. They're going to come in, they're going to work hard, they're going to give their best, and they're going to try. That's all we want to do, is we want you to try your best. We're not expecting you to be perfect. We're expecting you to come in here and learn and grow and want to have fun. And that's what high school is all about. You know, and my advice to the parents, and I say this a lot as well, you want your child to have their own experience. We've all had our high school experience, and you know, you may have older children that have gone through high school who had their experience. Every high school experience is different, and the opportunity to be a part of an academy is a really unique experience that can provide your child, or if you're the student, can really provide you with an opportunity that no one else is going to get. And so you'll see tonight, you know, you heard from Allison, who honestly, She epitomizes what our high school is all about. She's a student, I think is she back on? She is back on here. She's a student that works hard. She knows what she's good at. She challenges herself in different courses that, maybe she didn't know she was going to be good at. She pushes herself because she's passionate about it. She found something that she really enjoys and she goes after it. And that's what high school should be. High school should be, you see what you like, and then when you find it, you get after it. And for those of you that are involved in sports or you're involved in extracurricular activities, whatever you're passionate about, think about how hard you practice those things. How many times a night you stay up to shoot baskets or to pitch a baseball or to do a dance, to do a dance choreography or whatever activity you're involved in. Think about how much work you put into that. That's how much work Allison puts into her schoolwork. She left here to go do homework and now she's back because she wants to share her passion with you. So at this time, does anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourself. You can ask questions. You can put them in the chat. Do you have any questions for us at this time? Don't be afraid. You can just unmute yourself by hitting the mute button in the bottom left-hand corner. If you're using a computer, just unmute yourself and feel free to ask us questions, parents or students. Don't be afraid. Anybody at all?
Well, I'd like to add something, Mr. Hayzler. This is Dr. Sheridan. One of the benefits of these academies, and it may seem a little bit overwhelming to, as someone in 8th grade, is to say, wow, I'm really making a commitment and trying to decide something for my whole life, tonight. And that's not true. One of the things that these academies provide you with is a tremendous opportunity to experience the coursework and to do it in a way where there's a lot of safety nets and there's a lot of opportunity around you, that you have that chance to change your mind. If you get into any one of these academies and you decide, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, you're not locked into it. But it's a tremendous way to experience the field firsthand that you think that you might want to go into without going through college and getting a degree and realizing, oh, I really don't want to be a teacher, but now I have all these credits and now I'm a teacher, but I'm not happy. So these academies are a great experience. And the Allied Health Academy especially, I've had a lot of friends with their nieces and nephews who think they want to go into healthcare. They enter into college and they get, 2.5, 3 years into college and they realize it's not for me. Our Allied Health Academy gives the students that they know upon graduation from high school whether they want to go into medicine or not. So, but the same thing with teaching and learning, and same thing with STEM.
Allison, what are your future plans? What are you going to do when you leave PTHS?
Okay, so just to preface this, I've always wanted to go into the medical field. My mom is an ICU nurse at Hackensack, and she's been an ICU nurse for 24 years. So I grew up being immersed into the medical field, so I've always known that I wanted to be in the medical field. I started this academy wanting to be an ICU nurse, just like my mom. But I am leaving this academy. I want to be a PA, which not a lot of people know about. It's a new career that's coming up for the medical field. It's called a physician's assistant. So they pretty much are one above a nurse practitioner. You're able to be the first hand in surgeries to any surgeon that you want. They're able to move in and out of different units and different fields in the medical field. So I want to be in cardiac surgery as a PA.
That's awesome. that is fantastic. And and if you were to ask somebody, a student in the STEM Academy, right? I know Jeremy Sanchez. He's a student that's wanted to be in engineering his whole life. He's been building things since I knew him in PV, and now to see him as a senior doing the things that he wants to do. You saw the capstone projects there. It was really, really cool to watch them, and as they go on to NJIT and all these different colleges that they're going to. It really is exciting to see them move on. And the STEM and allied health, We've seen now moving through seniors go into the program, the aviation and teaching and learning are new. So as we get through it, we're going to see those seniors as well go through the program. But to watch Allison, in her senior year, after seeing her in her junior year, and how she's evolved and turned this program into 2 years, decided one thing, and is now going into another. And that's a testament to her teachers and to the experience that she's had to give her direction. And that's really the goal of any program and any class that a student takes, right? To give them direction. They're going to start and you never know where you're going to end up. And that's the joy of education, right? And that's the joy of any class. As a teacher, I always wanted my students who had me for business to come in thinking that business might be one thing, but it really could be many other things as well, with so many different opportunities out there for you. So
I just wanted to say one thing.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm friends with Jeremy. And all I could say for the STEM and for the Allied Health Academies is that we all dream big. If any of you guys are car people, Jeremy, he's always been very into Mopar cars and stuff like that. So I know that he wants to try to build that up again. And he's very good with cars. So that's just something to show that you can absolutely dream big. And there's people in my academy that I know for a fact are just absolutely brilliant and that will be amazing at the fields that they want to go into. I have a couple of people that I'm friends with that want to be heart surgeons. I want to be brain surgeons. They're truly amazing people. And they're also great to have by your side if you're going through a hard time in the classes.
Thank you, Allison. Anybody else have any questions? We posted the links in the chat. So I posted a link for the 4 Years and Beyond program, and Ms. Thomas put in the Academy website. But I am also going to email anyone who was here tonight and who filled out our survey to get this link. I will send you the links as well as a copy of the presentation that I gave so that you'll have everything that you need. And between now and then, okay, if you have any questions at all, and I'll also include our email addresses, which are on our website, you can contact us at any time. If you have an individual question about an academy, please reach out to the individual supervisors of those academies, but you can also reach out to me as well. Those of you that know me, my door is always open as a principal, but I trust my supervisors implicitly, and they know a lot more than I do when it comes to their content. And so, they will provide you with as much information as you may need. Ms. Crocker, I don't know if you have anything you want to add. I know Ms. Crocker does a lot with our programs, and she's a tremendous resource as well.
Yeah, I've been involved over at Chilton for a number of years now, and just seeing the experiences the students have. I know last year they went in the first day, they were in an operating room talking about seeing amputations, seeing hernia surgeries, and just not your typical high school education at all. And having been in guidance for about 20 years, I will say from the college end, they're looking for students who stand out, and being a part of any of these academies does make you stand out as an applicant. They're also looking for people who have a commitment to something. And as you've heard from everybody here tonight, joining any of these academies is showing a commitment to not only your present, but also to your future as well. So I'm hoping to see a lot of you here in the academies next year.
So I want to thank, I especially want to thank the students that are on here, and I see some of you here. I think it's awesome that you are even thinking about these types of fields at this point. When you have a busy 8th grade year, you're doing a lot of things inside and outside of school. You're taking the time tonight to learn and to grow. And whether or not you apply to these academies or not, I am extremely proud of you. Whether you're from Pequannock, Lincoln Park, Holy Spirit, Bloomingdale, whatever school you're here from tonight, I'm proud of you. That is a huge step. And, there are important conversations to have with your parents. Your parents, obviously, that are here tonight listening in and supporting you in this process. They're your biggest fans, right? My son is in 7th grade. Next year, he's going to be you. He's going to be you as an 8th grader and making a decision about what he wants to do. And so what I can tell you is Pequannock Township High School I've been here for 20 years, and it's a place that is growing. It's a place where kids want to be. especially right now. Kids enjoy being in school. And every day that they're here, whether they're wearing a mask, they love it, you know, and they enjoy seeing their teachers. They enjoy building the relationships. We're still doing amazing things. Our marching band just won state championships. They just took second in nationals. We have sports teams that are conference champions and competing in state tournaments. Our clubs and activities are meeting virtually. There's so much going on right now. And that's what school's about, right? It's not just about the classes that you take. It's about the relationships that you form. It's about who you meet. It's about finding that best friend that's going to write a college essay about you. It's about connecting with your teacher that will, you know, hop on an 8 p.m. Zoom call to make sure that you're ready for the test the next day. It's the teacher that wakes up early and hops on a Zoom call to give you extra help. You know, those are the experiences that our students are getting here at the high school. It's emailing me at 11 o'clock at night and saying, "Hey, Mr. Hayzler, is it okay if I can't make it to school, can I hop on to Zoom?" Yes, okay, and I get back to them. You know, we want to make sure, we want schools to be a place where you really, really want to be and you enjoy it. That's what high school, that's what any school should be all about, but especially high school. Because this is the culmination. This is what you've been waiting for. You've worked so long, right? You're 8th graders. You're now the leaders of your school. But now you're going to come to the high school, which is like, it's the flagship, right? You've made it to the big time. And it doesn't matter whether you're a freshman or a senior. You belong here. And you have just as much reason to be a leader, whether you're in 9th grade or you're in 12th grade. So I expect you as 9th graders to come here and be leaders, to leave a legacy here that really means something to you. Whether you're an allied health student, a STEM student, a teaching and learning student, an aviation student, or you're just a student. We are looking for you to come here and be a Golden Panther. And so I look forward to seeing each and every one of you through this application process. Again, if you have any questions, parents, students, anything that you need, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, I'll stay here for any questions that you might have. But if not, I thank you for being here tonight. I wish you, stay safe, stay healthy. Students, wear those masks and practice social distancing. Do all those things so that you can be in school, right? And enjoy all the things that get to happen there. Good luck with your 8th grade year. Have fun. And don't forget that school is supposed to be fun, regardless of everything that's going on. Try and have fun every single day. Learn something new every single day. Challenge yourself every single day. So thanks for being here, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Let's go Panthers. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everyone.